Shut the hell up, hey, happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of RollPlay Blades. Sorry, I didn't quite hear the countdown coming into that one. No, seriously, I hope everyone's doing good. And thanks for joining us this morning for another episode of Killing. I'm djWHEAT, joined, of course, by the cast and crew of RollPlay Blades. And let's check in and see how everyone's doing today, starting with our fearless leader of the game, John Harper. How's it going, man?
It's going well. I am working on a new game, as I mentioned before, I think, and it's been going well. I got a playtest in this last week, and it was good times. It's kind of a comedy, Futurama-y kind of thing in a way. So
yeah, sign me up.
Nice. I will.
You had me at Futurama.
I'm trying to think of a name. I want a name that's like kind of goofball, that gets the idea across. And right now we're calling it Hyperwave Boogaloo, which is kind of crazy. But I think there's maybe a better name. So maybe chat, you guys can think of something too. Maybe we can come up with something that's actually funny. But it was good. Our crew has an android whose personality matrix is Rob Lowe from Parks and Rec.
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Exactly. So I get to play him, and that's been super fun. So.
And something like that, even in a playtest, are you like constantly tweaking during the game, or do you wait until a session is over and then go like, okay, well, this sucked, we want to rework this part?
It depends on the group. With the group that I play with, my Wednesday group, they're mostly game designers, so we can't really help ourselves. Like, we say we're going to change it between sessions, but during the session, someone's always coming up with an idea or something. So we kind of do both. We try not to tweak it too much while we're playing, but there's always some idea that crops up during the game. Yeah. But that could be effective too, to iterate a little faster, like during the session, like let's tweak this one thing for the next conflict and see what that does. And then if we like it, then we'll move forward.
Right.
But for a comedy game, one of the mechanics that seems to be working is you can actually choose to fail, to get a token that you can spend later on a success. So that's been pretty amusing for people. People have been enjoying the aspect of, oh, this is the perfect time for my character to totally screw this up in some way. So it's been working out pretty well so far.
I like that. That sounds like a cool mechanic, actually.
Yeah, so far it's working out.
I meant to fail. And it's going to benefit me later on. That sounds great. Right up my alley.
Yeah. It's feeding into the Futurama vibe too, because our captain is like the one who wants to be sort of responsible. So the other two characters they're playing the Fry and Bender roles, where they just like screw everything up and let someone else sort it out. So,
nice. Yeah. And any move check-in, is that happening soon for you then?
Yeah, the move itself is not happening soon, but today is the day where we're getting the keys and finalizing the paperwork. So the move-in won't happen for a while, actually, but yeah, everything's going to be finalized this afternoon.
Well, so, congrats.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Let's move on to Zeke.
Yo,
Zeke, how's it going, buddy?
It's going really well. How about you, Mr. Marcus?
Great. It's going good. How about you?
I'm good. How about you? Anyway, yeah, everything's going great. I played some Star Trek Bridge Crew with JP and Aurelian and Scoots, and it was a ton of fun. I had so much fun. The only thing that, I think we're gonna finish it like the last couple of missions tonight after Blades, well after Blades is over. But the only thing I wish is what everybody wishes, I'm sure, who's played it, is I wish there was more content. There's not a ton of content, but this kind of game lends itself to just like, you can, just throw out a chapter whenever it's ready. But
so I've only played like one time at the trade show, right? And when you say not enough content inside it, or do you mean like, hey, we're doing this mission and there's this very specific thing that we are going to do, or this scenario as it unfolds, or like what do you mean by that exactly? Like that?
No. There's like five chapters or episodes or whatever you want to call it within the game. Like each little chapter is fun in and of itself. It's a complete thing where you need everybody's like cooperation on varying levels. But I just want more chapters.
Got it.
Yeah. So like every time we get through one of them, it's really, really fun to make it all the way through. Like there's some missions where you have to be stealthy. You have to like, move through this Klingon space. They're looking for you. So you have to like power down the shields and the torpedoes and stuff so that your signature gets smaller. So you're noticeable instead of you're noticeable in 20 kilometers, you're noticeable in 10 kilometers. And that kind of stuff.
I mean, I know it's Star Trek, so it's probably messed up with licensing and stuff, but that just seems like a modding community's, wet dream. Just
for sure.
The ability to create a fucking billion different Star Trek scenarios. Like, I can't believe they wouldn't just sort of be like, go nuts.
How long is each chapter about?
Depending on which one you're doing, like I want to say like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe. I don't know. I don't know time. It's not good for me.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
I mean, everyone has definitely been giving this game high praise. That's kind of the question for me. It sounds like after 5 more sessions, are you kind of like, well, unless there's something new to do, like we've done this all, we know how to do it.
Yeah, kind of, and you can switch roles, like you can switch from being engineer to helm and stuff. However, you have the same goal, like you're replaying the same mission, so you kind of know like what the goal is. So there's not going to be a whole lot of mistakes, and mistakes is kind of where the fun comes from because the captain gets to yell at you and be like, and just be really stern with you when you fuck up.
Not to be an armchair psychiatrist, Zeke, but is the most fun in the game when someone's punishing and yelling at you? Is that what you're doing?
I was the captain.
Never mind.
It was fun. It was fun being the captain, I'll tell you what, because no one gets to yell at you.
I think for modding, I mean, obviously they're probably thinking of this already, but something like a game master position for that could be pretty cool where you could do it. Someone could spawn in ships or drop in NPCs or, kind of do this like pseudo role play kind of experience with it. That might give it a way.
It will be an amazing time when that becomes a thing. Like more than just this one game has this cute little feature that does it, right? In the world of streaming and video creation, that seems like something that could make a game live forever.
Oh yeah. And it could definitely benefit from I don't remember what game people were playing, but there was an actual like with Matt Mercer.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and he was actually like DMing inside of the video game, like dropping like treasure and dropping enemies and that kind of stuff. That would be fucking awesome in the Star Trek Bridge Crew world.
That Sword Coast Legends? Was that what that was?
I don't remember the name of the game. Divinity Original Sin.
Oh, it was Divinity.
It was Divinity 2, I think, that had that feature.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But that'd be really sick for Star Trek. Like, just have a DM drop some Romulans in your path, or drop like a binary star that's about to explode, or whatever.
Yeah. And you could have the face cam type stuff where it could stick a Klingon or whatever on the GM's face, and he could call you on the view screen and be like, surrender now, and all that kind of stuff. Right. It'd be so fun.
Yeah, we're dreaming big here. Dreaming big.
I don't think it's dreaming that big. I mean, multiplayer was dreaming big one day. Many years ago.
Newer El Bahrain said it exactly right. You play the DM as Q.
Yeah, totally.
I love that idea. I love it. Yeah. I went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
And
fantastic. I loved it. It made me laugh all the way through.
Are
I
you
didn't take it too seriously, and I'm glad I didn't.
are you a fan of Baby Groot, or are you not a fan of Baby Groot?
That's a loaded question because I automatically hate anything cute. Like just out of hand. Like if someone puts like a kitten on their broadcast, I'm like, you're suspect.
So what you're saying is that you loved Baby Groot, but you're not willing to admit it.
No, I didn't mind it. I thought. I mean, since I had the mindset of like not taking it too seriously. Yeah, I get it. There was humor in the character, but I liked regular Groot. I thought regular Groot's humor was far better. Like the way they used him in the first one.
So Jeff, as someone who loves Baby Groot, what is your thoughts on this?
Oh, I was just laughing because Nick called it a minion. I liked it. That was fun.
Anyway, you liked it.
Yeah, I actually liked it better than the first one.
You gonna go see Wonder Woman?
No, I don't like female protagonists.
Can you just clip that
course,
completely out of context so we
Of
can
course, I'm going to see
ruin?
Wonder Woman. It's a superhero movie. Of course, I'm going to see it.
Yeah, it's doing
It was
really
actually a
well
choice
too.
between. It was a choice between Wonder Woman and Guardians, and I went, I haven't seen Guardians yet, and it might not be here when I come back. So,
Dude, it was hard to get tickets this weekend, and I guess you probably never
You
mind.
have to make a trip.
Never mind.
no, they just projected on the side of a fucking cow here, I guess.
You're good.
Oh, but if you pay the extra $2, they'll do it onto a side of a big bison, so it's a larger screen.
Yeah, that's the IMAX.
Anne, how's it going? How are you doing? What's
Pretty
up?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just celebrated 3 years of streaming on Twitch yesterday.
Hey-o! Hold on, I got it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we did a little bit of a kind of a celebratory stream. Played a lot of Overwatch with subs, which I've never done before, because it always seems so complicated to organize. But shout out to my subs for being nice to organize. And gearing up for E3, which I'm excited about. I know Jeff was talking about that earlier. I don't have anything that I'm like that I like have to see, otherwise the show will be ruined for me. But I have some like kind of work stuff that I'm going to be doing while I'm there, and mostly going just to see people. Because I didn't go to PAX East, so I feel like it's been 9 years since I've seen anyone.
Is this your first E3 or no?
No, I didn't go last year, but I went the 2 years before then. So, but I think this is the first one that I'm actually like working at. I think the other two I went with I got like a media badge or whatever, but I didn't actually do any work.
Right.
Hanging out. So, yeah.
I can't wait to hear what you think working at E3.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think so far we talked about how CES was just the worst experience so far that I've had at a convention, like working at it. So I having been to E3 and seeing the scale of it compared to CES, which is, if you've never been to either one, E3 is way smaller. I can't imagine that it's going to be as terrible as CES. So.
Yeah, CES just feels so stiff too. Like, I don't know, just there's something about it. At least you're like, yeah, these people are gamers, you know.
Yeah.
That's I don't know.
Yeah, CES is just like all technology pretty much. So
It's not corporate at all. You guys will have a great time.
yeah. And
Boom! EA Sports. It's in the game, Jeff. Come on over. No, they don't. It's not like that. Actually, it's not like that at all.
so like there's a different spirit to it than people who are just like, would you like to see our smart refrigerator that will automatically order products for you as it senses that they are low? Like that kind of thing is very. That's what in my mind when you said stiff, it's like those people. Everyone was like suits, you know, and like great like. So that E3 is not like that. So.
Jeff is like, yes, I would like to hear about this refrigerator.
Lasagna is remaining in the freezer. Would you like us to more? I'd be like,
yeah.
Yes, I would. Nice. Are you going to be there all week then?
Yeah.
Or just during the expo?
Universal Studios, the Harry Potter World thing, which I've never been to, on Monday before E3. So I'm excited about that too because I've never been.
Drink a lot of butterbeer, man.
My sister told me that the butterbeer pudding or whatever, what is it?
Just do it, all of it, and just
do all
one of each. It's just seriously, it's good hot, it's good cold, it's good slushy, it's good normal. I wish they actually did make it with like alcohol, but
yeah, that's the thing. They need to make an alcoholic. They should put a bar in, like an actual bar, but there's all kids. So
you can buy like Fireball shots, right? Like that's the only, I think, liquor that you can buy at the thing, along with some beers. But they don't mix well with the butterbeer. From experience, I could tell you.
I like that you were like, I tried to make it alcoholic and it didn't work.
I tried. I mean, like, I really gave it a good go, but I would not recommend it to anyone. So,
like, it's like butterscotch, right? Can you like put vodka in it, maybe? Could I like?
If you
can put vodka in anything.
Actually, it would be great
like,
if you did.
Okay.
Even maybe, maybe I don't know. Maybe a little like rum would be good. I don't know. No, maybe let's take one.
What was interesting in college was seeing the ways that people will sneak alcohol into things. You know, when you're in like trying to get sporting events and stuff. Man, college kids are creative. There's like, and I think they even sell. There's like bras that you can put alcohol in.
Probably.
So like, you know, because they're doing like the security thing. They're like searching for glass bottles and stuff, and you're just like, my bra has a straw coming out of it, like.
I honestly thought you were talking about like a bra with alcohol in it, like a grown man could
like,
be fed.
No, for women to wear. I mean, you could if you want to. It might be suspicious, is the thing.
No. Like if you've heard of the grown men who want to like role play as babies, like that's.
Oh, dude, those are diapers, dude.
Wow.
No, but like you would suckle like.
Yeah. Oh.
Where'd we go to, Zeke?
Coming
How
out of
do that? Why would Anne be talking like of all things?
No, I didn't say Anne was talking about it. I said that's what it made me think of. That's in my head. Don't put that on Anne. Anne's just fine. It's me who's fucked up.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyways, excited about it for World. That segue is non-existent. Please talk now.
No, actually, so when we were down in the one in Florida, the best part about it is like the froth that they put on top. And so bold me was like, could you add some extra froth on top? And she looked at me like I basically was like, can I take your firstborn child? And, and she was like, sir, no. She goes, that is completely against the licensing of the movie. And I was just like, whoa. I just wanted some extra froth, man. I wasn't like trying to shit all over Harry Potter's legacy, but like they were super serious about it. It's like, all right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So do not ask for extra froth, or do, and tell me if you have the exact same experience I did. Do I need to call my lawyer or something? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if it was just you or if she was lying to you,
It absolutely was just Marcus.
No. I would believe that they have some crazy shit, like they have to do very specific things for that. But yeah, Harry never asked for extra froth. It's not a thing. Well, have fun. I can't wait to hear about that. So, Jeff, what's up? How's it going, man?
It's good.
How goes it?
At least for now, I'm going to tell a funny story every time we do an introduction. So I'll just get over real quick. But
okay. I
tweeted this, but it didn't really do justice to the world that we live in these days. You guys might think, some of the political atmosphere might be the dumbest and lowest of society. It's not. It's being a dog owner and seeing people interact with your dog. And I
saw that.
Dude, it was so surreal. I had this really, really surreal moment. I take Barris to go potty. He goes potty, comes over, and he's waiting by me for Poa. And he's standing there, and this old man, nice smile, little like newsy boy hat on, comes walking over, and he's looking at Barris and doesn't look at me. And I'm looking, and Barrison's not a super social dog, but he's not an aggressive, like I'm going to go bite your hand off kind of dog. He just doesn't pursue someone petting him. And the guy kind of looks at him, and he does, other than not asking me, which, okay, whatever. But he does the right thing where he puts his hand out to see if the dog is receptive to, something like that. And Barrison kind of like looks at it, and then he takes his hand, pushes it towards the dog's face, and then just in the creepiest, like if this face was Barrison's head, he just drags it up his face and then palms his head. And Barrison like pulls back and then like does a half-hearted nip because he knows he's not supposed to. But he's also like, I think this guy might be attacking me.
Yeah.
And it was such a weird moment because I was just like, because I've never seen someone be like, take my hand, dog.
Did he not ask?
No. And so Barrison nips, doesn't get him, obviously. It's not really what he does. It was like confused, like, what the fuck? And the guy pulls back his hand and is like, man, and like starts walking away grumbling, like, oh, stupid dog, and can't believe it. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? So I like very lightheartedly punish Barrison, just made, because I want it to be affirmed that you don't ever do that to a human, even if they deserve it. But that was, and thankfully Barrison's a cool dog, because there's a lot of dogs I know that if you took your fucking hand and dragged it up their face and then palmed their eyeballs as a stranger, they would be ripping out your hand. Like,
my dog's right on cue.
So,
I'd be pissed if they did that. Oh my god.
Did this individual look like normal to you, Jeff? I mean, like,
he was walking by himself. He's a really old guy, and he seemed to be having a conversation himself. But otherwise, I didn't. I mean, what I learned is like, because I know this about Barrison and because people are weird, when someone approaches him, as much as I'd like them to pet him, because he's really weird too. Like some people, if they have a real positive energy, he gets all about it. He's like, oh my God, yeah, please scratch my back. Oh, this is great. But if people are like, can I? And they like scurry up and like, can I touch your dog? Like Barrison's like, oh my God. So,
people who they'll say, can I pet your dog? And I say, no, she's not friendly, which is true. She's not friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go, but I'm really good with dogs. I'm like, that's great. She's terrible with people. Please back away. Like, leave me alone.
I would like an alternate dimension, Anne, where you're like, well, I gave them their warning, and they're like, I'm great with dogs, though, and you're like, then let's
actually.
Be like, you just gave consent to my dog to completely rip your face off. Then
I was away from this guy. He's coming up behind me and is like, hey, can I pet your dog? I was like, no, she's not friendly, and I keep walking, and he's like, I'm really good with dogs. And I was like, I'm just gonna keep walking, and he like jogs to catch up to us, which my dog translates as, this man is trying to attack us. She like turns around and starts barking at him, and he's like, whoa, what's up with your dog, dude? He said, what's up with your dog? I'm like, what do you think? You just came running at us from behind. She thinks you're trying to kidnap me. She doesn't know what's going on.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy.
Go ahead.
Well, in Nebraska, like, I never really had any sort of exposure to a dog culture other than going to a person's house. But in San Francisco, you just like see, right, people ride the trains with the dogs and everywhere. And it just seems like there's this unwritten rule, at least in any city where there must be a lot of dogs, is like, people clearly ask, is it okay if I pet your dog or approach your dog? And I see it all the time on trains. And people will sometimes just say, like, he doesn't really like it when we're on the train, if you wait till we get off or whatever. And people respect the shit out of that. I guess, like, it's a little surprised, Jeff. That's why I asked if he was normal, because I feel like anyone would have been like, can I touch your dog? Can I pet your dog?
That's like the first sign of a person that's aware of dogs, is they will be like, hey, I like your dog. Is it okay if I pet him? And you'll always get an honest answer. People will never look at you and be like, you know what? It might work out this time. Go ahead. And they're going to be like, no, because they don't want trouble. Or they're going to be like, sure, it's totally fine. And that person is, it's a good judgment. So as long as you don't dash your hand towards their face at that time, you're going to be okay. But it was funny and surreal, and like we have Anna and I deal with it a little bit because Poa, our other dog, is a rescue dog, and she's a little 10-pound Pomeranian, but she's come a long way, but she has trouble. You know, if people move towards Anna in particular, she's like we call her sheriff. She's just like, fuck it, today's the day. She'll throw Poa. If Poa would throw if she had
Super Saiyan Poa.
Oh yeah, all 10 of them would go for Anna easily. Anna's like, oh no, there's a fire between me and this totally other place. Poe's like, well, how about you stand on top of my body while I burn? Absolutely.
Oh shit.
And I also tweeted this, but the other one, and this one's actually even funnier to me. This was funny because I'm actually, despite everything I do for a living, I'm a very introverted person. So I interact with my friends. You know, I'm not like a weird like jacket guy or something like that, but like I just don't interact with a lot of people. I go outside, and I had this it was a weird, surreal star sense moment where I'm like, today's a weird day. And it was after this dog thing. But I walk out there, and a guy's skateboarding across the intersection, and he just kind of like one of those things where he just falls forward. Doesn't fall down, but he just launches his board behind him as he's stumbling. The board's jetting towards the intersection that is going. And I was just in the exact right place at the exact right time to just jump a little bit over, put my foot down, stop the board, pick it up, and I was like, well, you know, if I wasn't here, this board's gone. This is amazing. I hand it to him. He sneers at me, shakes his head, and walks off. And I was like, and then alternate Jeff is like, picks up the board, looks at him, snaps it over my knee, and throws it.
Weird.
Too bad you fell.
You think he'd be, like grateful.
Well, it's another one of those moments where, like, I don't have, you know, I'm a pretty witty guy, but, like, when someone did that, it's so completely out of the peripheral of what I think is going to happen at that time that I stood there and I was, like, guffawing to myself. I'm like, did I do, is it, and I was just, like, standing there and you know, he walks off and I'm like, all right, on with my day, I suppose.
So weird.
So that was a Saturday.
Little did you know he planned to go to Mom that same afternoon. Mom, my board snapped in the. Wait, you didn't tell me how old this guy was. I just assumed that he's 30.
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh, that makes the story even worse.
I know. That's what.
Guy needs to watch some fucking Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or some shit. What is up with that? That's just ridiculous.
I just need to be a bigger dick. Like when he sneers and walks away, I'd be like, hey, don't blame me for being a bad skateboarder. I don't know. It's fun. They were just funny occurrences. Other than that, I'm going to go see Wonder Woman tonight with Anna. She's coming back from the Stream of Annihilation stuff she was doing, and that's about it. 8th edition Warhammer. I know that with this being pseudo tabletop, there's some people in the chat that are excited. I can't wait.
Awesome. Have fun tonight. I'll go real quick before we go. I haven't been up to much. We played Tales from the Loop yesterday, which is a fun little 80s role-playing game in a cool setting. Had a lot of fun doing that. Tycho is an enormous amount of fun, and Austin was also great to play with. Never played with Aaron either, but that was kind of pretty natural. So if you have a chance, you could check out the VOD. Other than that, I'm like calling myself officially moved, you guys. I'm putting the stamp down. I can look over and see boxes full of Blu-rays, which I don't need anymore because I'm a digital guy now. So I need to do what John was going to do with all of his books and just do a massive Blu-ray purge. Other than that, it feels good. I did my first complete 45-minute ride this morning on my Peloton. Pretty happy about that. This is that bike that you can ride. I did something a little different where I put on one of the scenic things and then I watched these YouTube documentaries that I've been meaning to watch the last week, and that was nice.
Marcus, I'm confused though. If you don't Facebook about it, does it count as an exercise? I don't.
So I don't really do the whole connect to social media thing. Jeff, so I guess maybe it doesn't. And so one of these days I might officially be doing some exercise. But no, I don't post anything to my Instagram, not to my Twitter.
I thought that was actually a part of getting in shape. Like that helps you lose weight.
It's not a part of it.
Or get in shape.
Yeah, it's the only reason to do it.
It might be. And if I'm scoring myself as like a 2 out of 10 on the social exercise, this is probably where I get those 2 points by talking about it on roleplay. So I'm doing my best, Jeff, really to
This does count. You mentioned it here.
I asked JP to post or to maybe show the before and after pics, but he couldn't get him fired into XSplit quick enough. So next time maybe.
Yeah. Some quick hitter recommendations for that is you don't have to tweet explicitly about the exercise itself. It can be something like, I was on my Peloton bike, #biking, and then say something like, and I read this terrible thing, or I read this book, or you'll never believe how, this juicing that I'm doing worked with it, that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be about the exercise itself. Just make sure that it's explicitly clear that you were exercising.
It's like name dropping a celebrity.
Yes.
Exactly. Got it. All right. I've taken some notes. I've clipped this part specifically so I can go back and I can review this.
Yep.
So other than that, no, I was like same shit, different day. I feel kind of bad because someone in chat is like, it actually could help for like people that are looking for additional reassurance. So I don't want to actually shit on anyone who regularly posts their exercising stuff on social media. If that gives you motivation, I think that's great. You should keep doing it. Jeff, however, I'm sorry, that's not for me.
Marcus is saying. I get it. I know what he's saying.
He's winking. All right, that's it. Should we play some Blades? Should we kill some people or maybe get killed? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's get a little.
Let's do it.
Crazy. Yeah.
We're getting down to some serious business here now.
Goodness.
I think the big board, the list of people to murder is getting short. You're gonna have to turn on each other at some point. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So last time we had like a murder kind. I mean, calling it an assassination feels like too fancy for what went down. You guys snuck over to White Crown, the super fancy part of town, and into the classroom of an admiral of the Leviathan Hunters, and killed her in her classroom, and her bodyguard Spirit and Hull were no help against the last word, or a little help anyway. But besides the murder, I think one of the significant components of the session was Aldo, who was wanting to take revenge against this person, Admiral Velkin, because she was pretty much directly responsible for Belle's death, his sister's death. And he kind of didn't get to have the vengeance that he really wanted. The fight didn't go super well for Aldo, and then Careless casually took out Velkin before Aldo had a chance to act, and we saw kind of a broken Aldo there at the end, where he fell into this despair. And so I think that the actual killing mission kind of faded into the background there, and what's coming today, I think, is there's going to be fallout from that, of course, in the world at large and for the Last Word as a crew. But also, I think I'm very interested to see where Aldo goes from here, and what his next steps are as a person. And we shouldn't forget that at the very end, Careless Firm decided to push himself deeper into his demonic nature, took another level of trauma, and kind of abandoned his connection with She Who Slays in Darkness. Sort of. It's a little vague. They had a meeting about where his loyalties truly lie, and we discovered that they really lie with Careless Firm. Of course they do. So their relationship is a little dicey, perhaps on the rocks right now.
You know what, John? As RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love anybody else?
Preach. That's right. If only you were attuned to RuPaul instead of She Who Slays.
There's still time, John.
That's true. Life is a lot better when you're attuned to Ru. Yeah, so let's do some Fallout real quick. So one aspect we need to discuss Marcus in particular, is heat. So you guys went to probably like the most secure, sort of safe, powerful, wealthy part of town. And due to some clever positioning and spending a chunk of money, we're able to kind of blend your way in there and get into a place you normally couldn't get, execute this murder without getting caught. But White Crown being what it is, it's the kind of place where this, especially with someone with Admiral Velkin's stature, you know for sure that this is the kind of thing that's going to be investigated relentlessly, including stuff like spirit testimony, which they don't normally do. Maybe like summoning up Velkin's ghost or something to find out what happened, or that kind of stuff is all possible. And at the end of the killing, you had a little ploy. Miss Cataby took some of the darts from
the automaton.
Admiral Velkin, from her hull, and planted them on the body to kind of like confuse the scene of the crime. Maybe delay that investigation or confuse them or make them think the hull went crazy, or who knows? Like, you obviously trying to mess with them, right?
I was.
So before we decide how much heat you took, I thought what we might do is ask Miss Cataby, maybe to make a roll about the successfulness of that ploy.
Okay.
And also to ask you if in the intervening time, like at the next day or so, is there anything else that you would want to pursue to maybe do more to that situation?
Right.
Just the
dark. I was actually going to ask about that because I mean I have the ability to just give myself an extra downtime action. So sort of making sure that my ploy is even deeper seated. I thought about that last time, that maybe I could use the rising revolutionaries to potentially be the ones to also reinforce this rumor, or
to like take the heat for you in a way, maybe that
or not even just I mean either take the heat, or if the idea is they're confused because like we found these automaton darts and then suddenly like the town is talking about, oh yeah, the automaton totally turned on, like, can we trust any of these machines? Like, maybe there's dissension amongst the ranks. So to just try to completely deflect as much heat as possible.
Yeah. They'll be like the gossips. If investigators talk to servants in White Crown or anyone of the working class, they'll all have the same story. Like, oh yeah.
Right. Which means that maybe there's still heat on us, but I would think that something like that would be less heat overall because like the talk of the town is that and not us.
Totally. Let's do that. I have a clock for you that has to do with this group. They don't really have a name yet. The Green Vest Society or something. I don't know what they're calling themselves. They haven't come up with anything that sounds cool yet.
The Mass Catabys.
Yeah.
Cute. The Catabites.
Ooh, that's something else. But
what
I like it.
Ooh, John. Mine's a play on Miss Cataby to the fucking switch of
So I have a clock for you, like basically cementing whether Miss Cataby feels this way or not, like among the revolutionaries, kind of cementing your leadership to some degree. When you reach out to them, they're all too happy to do what you want because they think that you're leading some kind of movement. Maybe that is what you want, but in any case, every time you do this, I'm ticking this clock. So we have 3 ticks on 4 so far. To like cement your leadership of this group, and this is the 3rd tick now that's happening. So I think a consort role maybe or something like that makes sense for you to build up this legend among the working class. And anyone else who wants to participate in the group action could.
So My question here is, if this is sort of my first action in downtime, is it totally viable strat to like push myself to take the extra stress because I'm going to indulge anyway?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
In fact, this won't count as one of your downtime activities.
Okay. Oh,
this-
okay.
Yeah, this will be kind of like
Flashback.
sort of
Okay.
a flashback. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
But yes, you can push yourself for sure.
Okay. I wish to push myself to ensure success.
Yeah, this is actually pretty important. How much heat you take here will actually matters a lot. So let's see.
So does this change my position at all?
It's risky and great effect actually, because you have the scale of the working class on your side, basically.
All right.
Ooh, there it is. Nice.
Still got some in the old can.
Crit fail, mini crit, and the actual pass.
Yeah. Whew. Nice. Okay, so yeah, so you spread those rumors, and what you guys hear from the news criers on the street corners is Admiral Velkin dead. You know, that's the headline, and there's a portrait of her, and just underneath that is there's some ink rakes, what they call journalists in Duskwall. The Woodward and Bernstein, I guess, of Duskwall have pieced together this series of killings, and you see Lady Clave's picture underneath there, and Master Helker, and the article kind of paints this picture of the leadership of Duskwall kind of connected. It's Helker was the harbor master, Lady Clave was a Leviathan hunter, ship captain, and Admiral Velkin was a high-ranking member of the Leviathan hunters and an instructor at the academy. So there's this kind of speculation that someone has it in for the Leviathan hunters as an organization, and there's rumors of a new assassins group in the city, and the journalists are trying to get to the bottom of it, but there's nothing in there in particular about how she was killed or anything about what the investigators are looking at. And the word on the street, what everyone knows, that everyone's talking about, is that maybe it's an internal problem. There's rumors about people saw a ghost, and I saw his face, and it was Helker, the dockmaster, and he was attacking the admiral, and so there's this confusion has been sown around. Maybe it's an internal struggle among the Leviathan hunters, as opposed to random people show up in White Crown and murder a powerful person, which is the story that people want to believe, right? Especially the rich and powerful, they don't want to believe that they're that vulnerable to getting murdered by the lowly common people. So they're all too willing to believe that, at least for now. So I think I'm going to treat that as base 0 heat for the job, because that counts as smooth and quiet in terms of pulling it off. Very low exposure. There's still +1 heat added for a high profile target, just because, you know, the admiral's very important. That adds to the overall heat. And because you guys are so negative with the Leviathan hunters, you're -2 with them. I think it also counts as hostile turf to some degree. White Crown in general counts as hostile turf to you guys because it's enemy territory.
Mm-hmm.
But with a 0 base that is +2 heat, Cataby, if you had not been able to do that, it would have been a base 4, I think. So you would have been getting 6 heat today, but instead you're getting 2. And I checked this ahead of time. Yeah, you're sitting at 6 heat, so that takes you to 8 out of 9. So you just missed your next wanted level because of your trickery there, Miss Catby.
Awesome.
You were headed to wanted level 2, but you headed it off before it got that bad.
Nice.
Yeah, nicely done. So you're still wanted level 1.
Can't kill anything, so.
Yeah, so going into downtime here, you guys can reduce heat. We've done that in the past. You can figure out a way to help reduce it overall, then you can spend downtime activities on that. Nothing else is pressing you right now. When you're back, there was kind of a crew meeting there at the lair, and then Careless went off into his mind palace and communed with his demon self. I think that's the last thing that's happened sort of in the timeline up to now. So you're at your liberty right now. The Bluecoats are investigating the murder, but they're not crawling all over you. Brightstone, where the library is, where your lair is still in that weird mode where the cathedral is cordoned off. The rich and powerful aren't out on the street anymore, and the general riffraff and the members of this revolutionary group are out in force often. They're starting to actually not march. March is too strong a word, but they're out during the day, and then another shift of them out at night, kind of walking around in large groups, intimidating the rich and powerful, essentially. So no, you don't have any pressure on you right now. You have a chance to do some downtime and pursue your own interests if you need to.
Do it. Who goes first?
I will heal. I'm gonna go to Kellen and heal.
Yeah, you have a gunshot wound. Is that right? A level 2 gun.
I do have a level 2 gunshot wound.
Got shot by a hole.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna go to over to Quellen's place instead of inviting her to the lair. Is that your preferred?
Yes.
Thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she still has her old apartment, that strange top floor apartment where the roof has been cut out, and she's growing a tree up out of the ceiling that she uses to grow all her weird mushrooms and stuff on. It's still there. There was some trouble early on in the series where she was getting messed with, but that has ceased. She didn't have to move.
Good.
Yeah, and when you go see her, she's very excited to see you. At first, she comes out and she doesn't really know exactly what you guys are doing when you do your jobs, but she knows that they're very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a chance that you won't come back. So she has this. She opens the door and sees you and throws her arms around you. She kind of has to stand on tiptoe to get around, hug your neck, and pull you into the apartment. She kisses you and then pushes back and looks at you. She has this big smile on her face because she's so happy to see you, and she looks into all those eyes. All those obsessed and unstable eyes. What's that like for her? What does she see when she looks at you now, Zeke?
I think what she sees is an empty house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she just sees like a husk of a guy just standing in front of her with no real passion or purpose. Just kind of a zombie-ish kind of guy right now.
Yeah. Okay. We see that her smile fade, just gradually disappearing from her face, and she puts her hand on your cheek. She's been around dangerous people her whole life. She's always been in the periphery, patching them up and brewing their potions and things. This isn't the first time she's encountered this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it hits her harder because she's so close with you. She really loves Aldo.
Mm-hmm.
So in this moment, we see she knows that there's nothing she can say to you right now or anything she can do to reach you in this place. So she drops her hand down and takes you by the hand. And then she's about to say something, and she sees the bloody shirt pressed against your side under your coat. And that gives her something to fix. It gives her something tangible to do for you, because she realizes now that you're slipping away, you're inside, so she jumps on that and she draws in her breath. Oh, God's here, come sit down. Look what you've done. And she brings out her scissors and starts cutting the shirt away, and just completely focusing in on dealing with this one problem with this gunshot wound instead of the bigger issue of where you've gone, what's happened to you. So
and I, as she's tending to the wound, I kind of very, very stoically and robotically speak to her. I want you to know that there are things that I might have to do in the very near future. It might make me someone who is unrecognizable to you. So, if I have to stay away for a little while, I want you to know that I do love you, but I can't promise that I can continue loving you because of what I have to do. And I don't want you to be around that person.
I think she's going with denial. She shakes her head while you're saying that, and is like cutting away part of the edge of the wound and getting the pieces of the bullet out, and while you're saying that, she's just sort of shaking her head and mumbling. She's like, well, no, just lie still, Aldo. Don't talk. I need to work on this. You're gonna be fine. And she's like talking about the wound, and she starts to clean it, and she's going, you're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. And then I like Aldo takes his big meaty fist and like brings her chin up gently so they're looking eye to eye. Yeah, she doesn't want to meet your eyes and see that hollowness again. She's kind of like looking away a little bit, and then she finally turns and looks at you. You believe that I love you, right? And you know, I would never do anything to hurt you. So, that's why I have to do this. And if I come back, well, if I come out the other side, I'll come back. But I'm just saying I can't guarantee that. So you have to be prepared in case I don't. And I don't want you pining over me or waiting for me or nothing like that. I want you to find someone else. But I'll try to come back. I just don't know if I can. Her eyes well up a little bit, and a tear rolls down her cheek. And she takes your face in her hands and moves in and kisses you, and that's where we cut. And she needs to roll healing dice. Like, yeah, let's get the technical shit out of the way, I guess. You do get some healing as well. Yeah, 2 out of 4 on your healing. Okay. And if you want, like, you have time to do another heal with her if you want to.
Is this? Can I? Do we get two free downtime activities?
Yeah.
And I can pay a coin for one more.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's do another heal.
Okay. Again. And 2 more. So that'll knock it down to level 1 harm, which for you doesn't affect you. So it's still technically on your sheet, but
yeah, because if I get 3 of them total, then it'll start affecting me. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So you still got the bandages wrapped around you, but you're not feeling it anymore. She gives you some painkillers and stitches it up, so you're okay.
Cool. All right, and then I'll save my last one for later.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Who else? Anyone need to indulge their vice?
Yeah.
Aldo.
And I'll take a stress.
Yeah, I was gonna say Aldo, Cataby, and Careless all take stress when they don't indulge their vice.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to as well. But Anne, go ahead if you want to.
Actually, you take. Oh yeah, sorry.
Fine. Yes.
God, you can't even overindulge ever.
I did twice.
Oh
maybe.
yeah, you did one. Yeah. By the way, my stress meter has gone off my character sheet.
Oh, I can still see it. Maybe try reloading.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. 5. That's exactly what you had, of course, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing the tattoo ink again, Anne, I assume. That's your normal vice.
Yeah.
Cool. There's something that I would like to tell you about that, but I think it's about time for our first break. So why don't we cut back in to Rune at the tattoo parlor when we come back?
All right.
We've got 3 hours of Blades left today, so don't go away. We'll be back with more after this.